Welcome into Seahawks Today Live. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us here on this Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for spending happy hour with us. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest news and rumors, those involving Ethan Pocic, the possibility of bringing him back to Seattle. Also, we'll discuss Drew Lock and his future. Could he be off to Tampa Bay to potentially replace Tom Brady? We have a mailbag to get to later. Use the hashtag Seahawks and Super Chat to get on the mailbag. And also we'll talk about the perfect free agency plan. Now that Geno Smith has been paid, what else do the Seahawks need to do in free agency? We'll go over all of that coming up in just a little while from right now. As we get this show on the road and started here on this Wednesday, encourage you guys to get in that comment section, get rowdy, and shout out your city. Easiest way to get a shout-out on the show is to tell us where you're watching from. I see Georgie in Renton. Also, I got M. Grubb 90 in Shelton, Washington. We are here at the Chat Sports Studios in Dallas, Texas. As Jeremy Chuggs is back with us today. Chuggsy,
we're live.
Good to hear from you. We had Rolly here with us the last couple shows, but glad to have you back. How are you doing, Chuggs?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be back. Glad to be with the 12s. And my guy.
Yes.
Tyler Jones.
A lot has happened since we last saw you.
It has. Geno. He's been chomping.
He's got a little more money to be chomping now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Geno, you're paying for dinner.
Yeah. Geno, you're paying for dinner the next 3 years. $35 million.
Just saying. Geno, you're paying for dinner.
I see Auntie is in Washington. I got Ryan in Portland, Oregon. I got Justin in Frankfurt, Germany, Indiana.
I thought it was Frankfurt, Germany.
Let's see. I do have Seahawks UK in Birmingham, UK, not Alabama.
Nice.
It's snowing, says Seahawks UK.
Oh.
And
nice.
Georgie says, Chuggs.
Georgie, what's up, my guy?
Good to hear from everybody. Let us know where you're watching from as we get this show on the road today. Also, with free agency officially starting on Monday, name a player you think the Seahawks should sign. I got plenty of guys that I want to talk about today, but I want to hear from you all who you think the Seahawks should sign. And Jeremy, I'll say this much. We're still waiting on the exact details of what the Seahawks are going to put towards Geno Smith against the cap for this upcoming year. We know it's $35 million, but as far as what counts this year versus next and how they'll put that money, that's still to be determined. With that said, going into free agency before the Geno deal, the Seahawks had around $23 million. So to put it in a nutshell, we don't know the exact number that counts against the cap this year, but at the moment anyway, before any cuts are made, anything like that, they're a little cash strapped right now.
Yeah. I mean,
that could change.
Lucky for the Seahawks, this isn't a crazy free agent class, in my opinion. Obviously, you have the guys at the top. You have your Javon, Hargrave, Bobby Wagner, a couple guys like that. But there's a lot of what I call team fillers in this free agency period where they're going to start for you. They could be a fringe starter or a rotational piece, but they're not going to be like, you sign this guy and it's a huge splash. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. Like, there's maybe like 10, 15 guys who are kind of in that range, but I mean, a lot of team fillers in this free agency period. Yeah,
I'm seeing OBJ's in the chat. I also see no OBJ in the chat.
No BJ.
No BJ. Very good. Bring back Bobby, and Clark.
Remember when Bobby Boucher came back and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl?
That's pretty good, Adam Sandler.
Thank you.
From you.
From one Jew to another.
What a day we're about to have here, folks. Already off and rolling here. But I think for Seahawks fans, it's the Bobby Wagner factor, right? That, to me, you mentioned there's only a few players that really move the needle. If Seattle can get Bobby Wagner, I mean, we might be doing a stream all night if they find a way to bring in Bobby Wagner.
Oh, if they bring back Bobby Wagner, that would be nuts and bananas. Like, that would be insane if they were able to do that. I don't think they do that. I could see them bringing in a different linebacker, maybe a Kaiser White.
Yeah.
The linebacker actually is crazy. enough to say, I said there are a lot of team fillers in this free agency period. Linebacker might be the only one where there's 3-4 guys, potentially maybe more with cuts coming up, that position might be the strongest free agent class out of all of them. You have Bobby Wagner, Levante David, possibly Devin White, TJ Edwards, a sneaky good inside linebacker as well, Kaiser White, another one from that Eagles Super Bowl team.
Right.
You have a lot of middle linebackers.
Well, and I'm
in this
glad
free
you
agency
used
period.
the word filler, because think about this for the Seahawks and that term filler. Jordan Brooks, the last update we got, I believe it was last week, was that his ACL recovery was going a little bit slow, not great. And there was hope that, okay, maybe he's back in time for the season. Now with what we know, granted we don't know a whole lot right now, that seems unlikely.
Yeah.
And so even with that said, you got to have other options. Linebacker, even if Jordan Brooks was completely healthy, already was a need as is, but you have to think beyond just who can start, but also who could be a guy potentially to sit behind Jordan Brooks and play until Brooks gets back and be a rotational guy.
Beard King saying Dre'Mont Jones.
I like Dre'Mont Jones. I don't think Denver's going to be able to pay him either.
I don't think so. They are very low in the available cap space department.
Yeah, wonder why. Let's see, what else we got here? The Geno Smith extension. We mentioned he's paying for dinner.
Speaking of extensions and quarterbacks.
$35 million next 3 years.
Which it sounds like a lot, but compared to other quarterbacks and what the quarterback market is, that is a value at the quarterback position. Daniel Jones made upwards of $40 million.
I'd much rather have Geno at my quarterback at 35 than Daniel Jones at 40 any day of the week.
No matter what paranoid Marshall Green has to say about Daniel Jones, I would rather have Geno Smith every day of the week as well.
Yeah, even just if you took the dollar amounts, what quarterback you rather have? I'd rather have Geno. And then you tell me I get him $5 million less than Daniel Jones? Yeah, sign me up. I like the extension. I'd give it. I understand that it might be a little bit high. I'd give it in the A minus range myself.
I would give it an A because this deal gives you flexibility to possibly draft a quarterback next year, which we all said, which you've been harping on. Next year's quarterback draft class is potentially way better than this year's quarterback draft class. If you're telling me you can build the team for one more season, use your draft capital, possibly, trade back, get some draft capital for next year.
Because think about this, Chugs. You have the picks at 5 and 20 right now. You could trade back to 7, 8, 9, and still hold your first two. Still have two first-round picks this year, and pocket a pick for next year as well.
You can trade if you trade back into the teens from that 5 spot. You're getting a first-rounder next year.
I think you are if you go back to
that's what I would be
8
looking
or 9.
At. That's what I would be looking at.
Yeah.
If possibly, I don't know, one of those teams in the teens, a Tennessee, maybe a Tampa Bay, a Commanders.
Yeah. Wesley says A+. Georgie says A++. So far, it seems like the chat is pretty good.
Auntie
says D.
Geno.
Too many picks this season. In a 17-game season, he threw 11.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. 30 and 11, that's a great touchdown to interception ratio.
He had the highest completion percentage in the league, near 70%. Auntie, I don't know what you're thinking there.
Yeah, Auntie, I don't know.
I'm glad you're here, Auntie, but that doesn't make sense.
And I bet you, Auntie, you'd say, if we could have Josh Allen, that would be amazing. Josh Allen threw 17 picks this season.
Right?
Should the Bills cut Josh Allen? Dak Prescott threw 17 picks this season. Joe Burrow threw more picks. Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence all threw more picks than Geno Smith this season. He threw the same amount of picks as Patrick Mahomes.
Too many picks.
The Chiefs should cut him for sure. The Chiefs should cut him, save that money on the cap, and let the Seahawks sign Patrick Mahomes.
This sounds like a video. We're going to go live, sign Patrick Mahomes after the Chiefs cut him? Yeah.
I think so.
How about that, folks? Should we show the Super Chat menu here?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're still celebrating Geno Smith here on Seahawks Today. We did this on Monday, and I want to keep the party going. I got my fireball in hand. Chugsy's got his Fireball in hand, too. We're a Fireball show. They don't sponsor us, though. They should. For every $7, since Geno is number 7, we will take a shot for Geno. $7 shots for Geno. $5, we sing the DK song. We sang that a few times on Monday. I think, Chugsy, Rolly is getting close to remembering all the words.
Oh, you know me and you. We got that chemistry on.
Oh,
it.
we do.
We wrote it together.
We did. We sat down at our desk and we
It's
wrote
like Paul McCartney and John Lennon.
Yes. $5, you can hear the DK song. $10, we'll do beer cheers. $25, a beer chug. We also, on Monday, we added quite a few members to the Boot Hall of Fame. I would love to add more. There's a spot for you on the Boot Hall of Fame. $100 gets you a spot. And while we're still filling up this first side here, when free agency really gets cranking, I think we have a chance to potentially fill up this boot. As far as that goes. So get in early while you can.
You have a lot of time today because we have 3 segments on today's show. We have a news and rumors with the juiciest Seahawks rumors that we could find today. A live Seahawks Q&A where Papa Jones answers your Seahawks questions. And Tyler Jones's Seattle free agency plan. Who should they sign? Who should they re-sign? What should they do?
My Magic 8 Ball.
You don't have to worry because Papa Jones is going to help you with all that.
I have you covered. So $100, Boot Hall of Fame. $150, we take down a boot. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag. One mailbag today. We'll do that in between the news and rumors and the free agency plan. So use that hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on said mailbag later on. If you Super Chat, you jump to the front of the line. All right, I got 64 people watching right now.
Can we get to 25 likes?
25. That's not that much. We're at 14 likes right now.
Who's going to be the 25th like?
Who's going to be the 25th like?
Who's going to do it?
And a little extra incentive, we'll take a Geno shot when we get to 25. I'm going to pour it right now. Let's see. We're at 69 viewers. Nice. Well, I need 10 more likes, and me and Chugs are going to take a Geno shot to officially start this show and to enjoy our day today. Georgie says, I like how Chugs wears blue.
Thank you.
Oh! Beard King wants to party and have a good time.
A little party never hurt nobody.
All right. So Beard King, shots for Geno. You and I each. I think that means, okay, so we need one more like to get to 25. So I think you and I each got to take 2 shots, and then we'll start the show.
I like that.
Yeah. So here's the first one. This is for Geno. Congrats.
Woo.
Enjoy yourself, Geno. Enjoy that money. Buy us all some dinner sometime. Drink responsibly.
Beard King.
Beard King. Shots for Geno started off right. That's exactly right. $7. Shots for Geno today to celebrate that new contract. And me and Chugs are going to enjoy ourselves today. $14 super chat, so that means 2 shots. One for each of us for Geno Smith. Cappy, yes, that is Fireball. Cole says, I'll check my beer, just got off work. Awesome. Pour me
another drink. Cheers.
Cheers
Well,
to Beard King.
Clink me. Oh, clink. Woo!
All right.
Very good.
Very good start to the day.
We're almost to 30 likes, which means we can start today's show. Tyler, we got our news and rumors segment coming up. Juicy rumors. What kind of rumors are we looking at today?
You remember the name Ethan Pocic?
I do.
Former Seahawk. Had a good year with the Cleveland Browns.
2nd round pick.
He's a free agent. He's a center. The Seahawks need a center. Drew Lock being looked at in Tampa to replace Tom Brady potentially? We'll discuss that.
Whoa.
Also, we have a news and rumors mailbag Q&A. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on.
Right, who's going to be the 30th like? We need 1 like. Who's going to be 30?
Who's going to be 30?
Who's going to be 30?
Who's going to be that guy?
Let us know in the chat if you're number 30.
Yeah.
Let us know.
We'll shout you out.
We want to know who's number 30. Who's the 30th like?
Who's going to be the 30th like? And then also I have my perfect free agency plan. We'll get to that here in just a second. Who's going to be that 30th? Let's see.
We're at 29. We're hanging out right there.
29. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, Mark!
Oh!
Mark wants to party. Okay.
Marky Mark!
And we hit 30 likes. Okay.
There we go.
So 2 more shots for Geno, each of us. The Geno shots are working. This might have to stay. We might have to.
Geno shots.
Geno shots. Hopefully, maybe we need to trademark that. Mark, $28, shots for Geno. Every $7 is a shot for Geno. We got 2 more each. Thank you, Mark. That puts us at $42.
Pour me another drink.
Geno shots.
Cheers.
Cheers. Drink responsibly. I love this. The Geno shots. I'm glad this has caught on, that we've turned this into a thing.
Tyler Jones.
Cheers again. To Geno.
To Geno.
Geno, enjoy some Texas Roadhouse tonight.
Woo!
If I was making the money that Geno Smith made, I'd be going to Texas Roadhouse every night.
Cappy, if we made the money that Geno Smith made, we'd 100% get the gold slogger.
Oh, yeah. We make it a little bit less than Geno does. All right.
Just a little bit.
Just
about
little
the
bit.
same.
So, who's going to be the first to get on the boot today? Mark's at 28. That means he's 72 away from the boot hall, another spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. Beard King's at 14, so about 86 away.
It's going to be close.
Is it going to be Beard King? Is it going to be Mark Sanchez? Someone else going to step up.
Just a reminder, everybody, get in those questions, get in those super chats. Beard King, Mark, y'all can be the first on our Seahawks mailbag. But first, before all of that, we have a juicy Seahawks rumor segment. Tyler Jones.
Bring back Ethan?
Let's get set up.
Let's find out.
You ready to go?
I am ready. Are you ready?
Are you
Let's
ready?
get ready to rumble.
It's time!
It's time! Here we go. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, as we will be discussing bringing back a former Seahawk. Could we see a return? Not Bobby Wagner, but somebody else. We'll get to that here in just a second. Also, Drew Lock. Could he be replacing Tom Brady in Tampa? More on that in just a bit. Before we do, folks, we are, I kid you not, just 5 subscribers away from 35,000 on the channel. 5 people. Whatever you do, even if you have to go to your burner account, whatever it may be, I need you to help us get to 35K. Can we do it today? Can the 12 show up and represent and show out? You want more news and rumors? Free agency is going to be a good time. We had quite the party on Monday when Geno got his new contract, and we're going to keep on partying through free agency. Draft, trades, and more. This is the place to be if you love your Seahawks. We got you covered. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe for free today. Let's get to 35K. All right. So where we begin today is with this update from ESPN. And they are suggesting that the Seahawks bring back Ethan Pocic to be their starting center. Now, go back a couple days ago. Austin Blythe announced his retirement from the National Football League. And I think everybody anticipated the Seahawks would make a change at the center position anyway, especially in the guard spots. And so with that said, what about bringing back Ethan Pocic, who's coming off a career year with the Cleveland Browns? Let's look into this. The Seahawks' biggest need in free agency is a center to replace the departing Austin Blythe and Kyle Fuller. So how about a homecoming for a prodigal son? Pocic was originally a second-round Seattle draft pick in 2017, but he struggled with injuries. He left in free agency last year and signed a one-year deal with Cleveland and had a breakout season, ranking 4th in RBYR and 5th in PBYR. That's pass blocking and run blocking among centers. So, would we see him make his return? What a story that would be. He went to Cleveland, remember, to be the backup. Their starting center got injured in week 2 of the preseason. He went on to have a heck of a season. So what do you guys think? Should the Seahawks bring back Ethan Pocic? I have some numbers. I want to show you some things on Ethan here in just a second. But this is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it and get your votes in. Type S for sign, type P for pass. What do you think? You want to see EP come back to Seattle? Let me know. S for sign, P for pass. I'll say this. I am not opposed at all to a return to Seattle for Ethan to make this return and get his old job back as the starting center for this team. Off of the season that he had this past year, I mean, he finally developed. Some guys take longer than others, but he was a very good player for Cleveland this year. Second-round pick back in 2017, joined the Browns last offseason. He did deal with injuries in Cleveland, and that was arguably his biggest issue when he was in Seattle was his inability to stay healthy, right? You look at what he did with the Browns, started 13 games this year, had a knee injury back in Week 11, but still came back for the finish of the season, and we saw that the Browns were pretty pleased with what they saw with him on that front. Let's show you the numbers from Pro Football Focus, the nerd grades of what Ethan was able to put together. Overall grade, 79.0, not bad. Run block grade, 79.1. Pass block grade, 77.2. And he allowed 2 sacks this past year there in Cleveland. So those are the numbers there on Ethan Pocic as far as what he was able to bring to the table for that Cleveland Browns team. And remember, he played with a couple different quarterbacks. Started the year with Jacoby Brissett. Sean Watson came into the fold later on in the year, but that didn't slow down Ethan Pocic from having a very good year with Cleveland. There's a need for Seattle at this position. There's a former player that they're used to in Ethan. And we'll see, quite frankly, if they make this move. But this is something that they do potentially bring back. Cleveland, from talking to Matthew Peterson, our Browns host here at Chat Sports, he was saying that, hey, they like Ethan a lot. But with all that money they're paying to Deshaun Watson there in Cleveland, that there's concerns if they can afford him. That it's not a situation of that they don't want him. It's a situation that they necessarily can't afford him. The depth chart for the Seahawks, remember, you're replacing Austin now. Now that he's gone to retirement, and Fuller is going to be a free agent here. You already have your center spots locked up for the future with Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas, your tackle spots. What you're trying to focus on is trying to get that the interior of the offensive line better when it comes to those guard positions in the center spots. So we'll see if Seattle's going to go this route and bring back EP. More to come here on Seahawks Today here in just a moment. But before we do, folks, St. Patrick's Day just around the corner. One of my favorite holidays, an underrated holiday. And we got you covered here on the channel as we have St. Patty's Day Seahawks gear that's on sale now for 25% off. And you can see this stuff looks fantastic. Look, I'll say this much too. Because the Seahawks, with the action green that they have, some of this stuff doesn't necessarily age out after St. Patrick's Day. You can wear some of this Seahawks stuff all year long as far as that's concerned. And it's very popular this time of year. Great way to avoid getting pinched is by wearing some Seahawks St. Patrick's Day gear now, up to 25% off. Get yours now. Chatsports.com/SeahawksGreen to get yours today. That's chatsports.com/SeahawksGreen to get yours now. All right, so you can see there's the Seahawks offensive line, what they bring to the table. So I want to know, if you had to be the judge and had to grade the Seahawks offensive line as things stand right now, before any changes to this offseason, what would you grade this offensive line? A, B, C, D, or F? We saw them take tremendous strides towards the end of the year last year, in particular those young tackles, but where are they at right now? Let us know in the comment section how you'd grade the offensive line for the Seahawks. Let's shift gears now. A new report from Matthew Berry of NBC Sports. Yes, that Matthew Berry, the fantasy football insider. He was out at the NFL Combine. And according to his sources that he spoke with at the Combine, the Bucs, now in the post-Tom Brady era, trying to evaluate their quarterback options. Remember, It came out that they're going to go with Kyle Trask to be their guy for now. But with Dave Canales coming over as their new offensive coordinator, the former assistant in Seattle, he said that there's interest from Tampa in bringing in Drew Lock to compete with Kyle Trask to be their next starting quarterback to replace Tom Brady. Here's more from Barry. As one source who said to me, what's better, $30 million a year for Geno coming off of one good year where he tailed off in the second half, or draft a rookie and keep Drew Lock? Drafting a quarterback with the 5th overall pick, keeping Lock and letting Geno walk is not out of the realm of possibility. That didn't happen. Speaking of Lock, I also heard his name as a possible option for Tampa Bay to be a veteran to compete with Kyle Trask. So there's two things to take away from this. One, that people around the league still like Drew Lock, even after he did not get the job, lost it to Geno Smith, and after not having such a great tenure in Denver, that I guess he still got some respect around the league. But two, think about this. I know that Seahawks management, we've heard from John Schneider and we've heard from Pete Carroll say that they would like to have Drew Lock back. They would like to have him be the backup behind Geno Smith. And I understand why they would. He's known the system for a year. He's been a good locker room guy and all that. But the truth of the matter is, if Drew Lock can get an opportunity to compete for a starting job in a place, let's say, like Tampa, there's no incentive to come back to Seattle if you're Drew Lock, because this is Geno Smith's job. Even if they draft a quarterback in Seattle this offseason, Geno's still your guy no matter what. So Drew Lock, if you're coming back to Seattle, it is to ride the bench. And so if you like Drew Lock, if you're rooting for Drew Lock, in all honesty, you probably should be hoping that he moves on elsewhere so he gets a chance to be a starter for another team. If Lock leaves, which I would guess is going to happen if teams like Tampa are already interested in him competing for their starting job, then the next question becomes for Seattle, what do you do at the backup quarterback spot? Do you draft or do you sign a backup quarterback? Personally, I lean towards drafting. I am of the Bill Belichick philosophy that every draft, even if it's a late day 3 selection, whatever it may be, you should draft a quarterback because, like John Schneider said, quarterbacks don't grow on trees. You can be in your system. We saw what the Niners did with Brock Purdy, the very last pick of the draft, and they would not have gotten to the NFC Championship game without him. Look at when Josh Johnson took over in that game. Quarterbacks are very valuable. I would lean towards drafting, but there are some pretty decent veteran backups out there as well. What should the Seahawks do at backup quarterback? Let's just assume, for all intents and purposes, that Drew Lock's gone, that he goes to Tampa or somewhere else to go compete for a starting job. What should they do about the backup quarterback position? Should they draft or should they turn to free agency and go get a veteran? Let me know. Type D for draft, type F for free agency. You can also tell me on social media as well, at Tyler Jones Live on Twitter and Instagram, also on Facebook. Tell me what you think about this possibility. Also, who the Seahawks should sign in free agency. Would love to hear from you guys there. Going to be a fun couple of weeks here as we're getting you set with the offseason ahead. We got you covered here on Seahawks Today. We'll see you next time. All right, that is one segment down. I did see some super chats coming in from Mark. I like the idea of drafting a young quarterback. Jeremy, what about, as we're pulling this super chat up from Mark, what about you as far as, let's say Drew Lock's gone, what would you want as your backup for Geno?
Ooh. I mean, for this season, I mean, it depends on who's there in the draft. If you like somebody in the later rounds, since you got Geno this year and it's a 3-year contract, I think your quarterback of the future is going to be drafted in next year's draft.
Right.
So I say you either do one of two things. I say regardless, you wait until the draft. You wait until rounds 4, 5, 6. If you like anybody,
right,
if there's any prospects you like, go ahead and draft. I'm going to say you draft first, and then if there's nobody like in the 4th, 5th, or 6th rounds, or if there's somebody that slides that you really like that you want to take instead of a quarterback, then I say you go out and you just get a backup quarterback on the market. You know, there's a couple guys who you could be able to get who are decent backups. Jacoby Brissett is a backup who's who's available on the market right now. A couple guys here and there who've been around the league who could, step in and be a backup for the Seahawks this season.
I mean,
or do you just go ahead and go the really cheap route and just re-sign Eason?
Well, Eason, bring him back. He
Yeah.
went to the Panthers practice squad there for a minute.
Yeah.
You don't have a practice squad quarterback right now. Sean Mannion was your practice squad guy, but they didn't sign him to a futures deal.
Yeah.
Maybe Sean Mannion could come back and be your backup next year.
But, fuck that. From Mark Sanchez. Been there, done that with Pocic. Use
the money for Bobby Wagner and
for
draft
B
a
Wags.
All right, so let's take some shots. $7 shots today for Geno. Shots for Geno, every $7 taking shots. Mark Sanchez is now up to a grand total of...
Mark's just trying to get us loose.
Oh, he is.
$56.
$56. He's over
44
halfway to
away.
the booth. As a whole, by the way, we are at $70. So
Oh, no.
we're about 80 away from
We have
taking down the boot.
We have the Browns report in our chat right now. The Browns report is in the chat.
Stetson Bennett, I think I said this the other day. I'll reiterate. If the reason that you want Stetson Bennett is because he won 2 national titles, if that's the reason you want him, you don't know ball. I mean, Stetson Bennett is unathletic. He's not that great. He was carried on those Georgia national title teams. Stetson Bennett and, not to mention, he had that recent public intox arrest. I don't know how good of a guy Stetson Bennett is either. We're taking shots. Every $7 today is a shot for Geno Smith. Geno shots on hand. Oh, thank you, Mark, for doing that and getting us those shots today.
Petey is in our chat right now. Matthew Peterson, our Browns host. Imagine paying $250 million guaranteed to a quarterback who isn't as good as Geno Smith.
Right?
Couldn't be me.
Can't relate.
Couldn't be me.
Oh, my gosh. Stetson Bennett, though, I'll say this for the Stetson Bennett truthers in the chat. He's got more titles than John Watson.
He said, "We will not draft Bennett. We do not take criminals on the Browns."
That's a good one. I like that.
I 100% think the Browns are drafting Stetson Bennett. 100%. And whenever Petey has to do that cut, that is going to be the best day of my life.
Gosh, that's hilarious. I'll drink to that.
Pour me another drink.
Pour me another round.
Speaking of super chats from Mark Sanchez, we have a mailbag.
We do. Mailbag coming up. Use hashtag Seahawks or super chat to get on said mailbag. If you super chat, then you get to the front of the line in said mailbag. Just one mailbag today. So we'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Let's show the super chat menu for those that are just now getting here. I know we have 102 people watching right now. And by the way, we are so close to 35,000 subscribers on the channel. We are 3 away.
Whoa.
I know that we got 102 people watching right now. I highly doubt that all of you are subscribers.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Mark with another one. Give me 1 second here. For the 105 of you, I think there's got to be at least 3 that aren't subscribed to the channel.
Possibly.
I want to get to 35K in subs today. Sublink is in the chat. Let's see if we can get to 35,000 subscribers by the end of the show. In fact, with that super chat from Mark that puts us at $98, here's what I'm thinking.
28 times 3, what is it, Tyler?
28 times 3 is 72? Okay, hold on. That was a guess. I'm not going to lie. 28 times... Oh, yes. Wow, that was a really bad guess. I just threw a number out there, to be honest. 25 times 3 is 75. So add more, 84.
There we go.
Okay, yes.
There we go.
Yes. $84 for Mark. He is 16 away from the Boot Hall of Fame.
Drinks getting to you, Tyler.
Yes. I need 3 more subscribers. Here's what I want to do. I want to get to 35K in subs today. I want to take down a boot today. And I want to induct some people in the Boot Hall of Fame. Can we do all 3?
Can we?
We can do all 3. Subscribe now. Where are my 3 at? Create some burner accounts if you have to. I don't care. Let's get the 35K in subs today, and let's take some shots.
Shots for Mark.
For Mark and Geno. We got to do 2 of these each. Let me pour real quick.
And, oh, no.
Cheers.
Mark.
Cheers.
Mark, that's a
Let's
Boot
keep it going.
That's a Boot Hall of Fame for you.
Mark, going to the Boot Hall of Fame.
Oh, God.
All right. Keep
Marky
it going.
Mark.
Keep it going. We're gonna keep drinking shots. We're gonna go on a marathon.
You know what that means as well.
What does that mean?
With this super chat from Mark Sanchez.
He's going on the Boot Hall of Fame.
Not only that,
we are close to Das Boots.
we're 24 away from Das Boots.
24 away from Das Boots. Let's keep on drinking these shots. Keep on.
And you know what? Just because Dirty D wants it, he really asked. He wanted us to do the DK song one time for him.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You ready?
Yeah. Chomping, carols chomping, Geno passes, no one stopping, DK. Touchdowns all day. He rules. Cheers. How many more do we have? Do we have 2 more?
I have one more.
One more? Okay, one more. And then Mark's going on the Boot Hall of Fame. And then, after that, I will hit the refresh button, and we'll see if we got to 35K in subs. We'll see if we got it or not. Cheers to Mark and the 12s out there. All right. Should we induct Mark first, or should we see if we got to 35K?
Let's see if you got to 35K.
All right, I'm hitting the refresh button right now. Drum roll, please. 35,000 subscribers on Seahawks today. Chopping, carols chopping, Geno passes, no one stopping, DK. Touchdowns all day. He rules. 35K. Yay! All the 12s.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Milestones for both of us.
Thank you. What a day. 35K on the channel. We did it.
Electricity in the air.
Electric Factory.
Shake that fin, ba-da-ba-da, shake that fin. Now, hey.
And Mark,
How much
it's
did you
boot
draw?
time. Can you tell Will?
Yeah.
Can you have somebody get the boot ready? Thank you, buddy.
Hey-o.
We got a boot coming. Mark's going in the Boot Hall of Fame when I get that boot back.
Mark's on his goat shit today.
Unbelievable.
Mark's on his goat shit today.
Dirty D says no more DK
All right, one
song.
more time.
One more song just for Dirty D. Chomping, carols chomping, Geno passes, no one stopping, DK. Touchdowns all day. He rules. Oh my gosh.
We
Whoa.
did it. We all did it. Jeffrey Nicholson, you did it. Dirty D, you did it. Beard King did it. Mark B, AFX Apocalypse. Hunter
Unbelievable.
and Friends. Jonathan Vasquez.
Unbelievable.
Not the Browns report. Stony Baker MD, you did it. You did that. Trill Z, you did that. Mr. Shiny did that. Jared G did that. All of you did that.
So
You just did that.
So here's a little story. While we're getting the boot ready, I'll tell this real quick. I won't be long on this speech.
Woo!
1 year ago yesterday, March, when I started with the company here at Chat Sports, and I have loved every minute of this job, working with guys like Jeremy Chuggs and Will Scott, who you saw, and you know, Nick Roloff, our entire crew, Seeps. I mean, what a team that we have here at Chat Sports. Trace Gerard. I was getting around to everybody.
Trace. No, I love you, Trace. You're my guy.
We're family.
Hey,
of course.
Blame it all on my roots.
Blame it. I showed up in boots. Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Blame it all
I
on
showed
my
up in
roots.
boots.
I showed up
Thank
in
you, sir.
boots.
So, a year ago yesterday was when I started here at Chat Sports. And we were, I believe when we started, Seahawks Today was around 22,000 in subs.
Yeah.
And we are over a third bigger than when I started. Size matters, punk. And so it has been my honor to be a part of this this channel, to be that you guys welcome us into your homes every day to talk Seahawks, that we can have a good time. People like Mark Sanchez, Dirty D, Jeffrey, Mike. I mean, you guys make it all worthwhile. And, Mark, I'm going to put you in the Boot Hall of Fame, but I'm going to write underneath it 12 for all the 12s out there. And I'm going to make a special note, too. I'm going to write 12 for the 12s and write 35K. This is all in this moment of the a boot on the way, 35,000 subscribers. We did it. Cheers to everybody out there.
Hey, we got a super chat idea.
Okay.
Carrie Underwood is performing in Dallas tonight. How big of a super chat do you need to go to this concert?
Oh. Carrie Underwood's performing tonight?
In Dallas tonight.
No, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
I forgot that was tonight. I was going to go.
Oh, my. What do we need?
What do we need?
How much are tickets?
Let me look it up.
Check that first.
All right.
Let's go back on that. But in the meantime,
Just don't look at my history.
Speaking of history, ask Tex about the Dolphins channel's recommended videos. I've heard some things from the grapevine.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
Kim, by the way, I see your question in there. Got to use hashtag Seahawks. We're about to do a mailbag here after Tyler finishes this boot.
Kenneth Walker is in the chat today.
Oh, nice.
Welcome, Kenneth. It's K9.
Kim, I love the question. Use hashtag Seahawks in your question.
$45 to get in the building.
$45?
Going, T?
Who's going with me?
I'll go.
You'll go. Check who out there. Check with Trace, Abby, whoever. See who wants to go. I'm dead serious. I'll go tonight, guys. I want to go to Carrie Underwood tonight. I'm going to find out in the chat.
Tyler's childhood crush,
Oh, I love Carrie.
Carrie Underwood.
If you watched when we were on air after the Seahawks-Rams game, I had some nice things to say about Carrie that night.
He was pretty hammered.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. All right. We'll circle back on that. Should I go see Carrie Underwood tonight? Profess my love to Carrie. I think she's married, though. Boot time, though. Let's get to the boot.
Let's do it. Make sure to get those questions in. Hashtag Seahawks to get on the mailbag. Beard King gets it. Kim, rewrite your question using hashtag Seahawks so I can get you on the mailbag.
What are we thinking today? Because I have to keep it somewhat clean because I got 2 more segments to go. So I'm really trying not to spill right now.
Take your time.
Okay. Savvy now. Not legal here, but I love it. Dirty D, my ex-girlfriend looked like Katy Perry. So you kissed a girl and you liked it?
Congrats.
All right, let's do the boot.
All right, get those questions in using hashtag Seahawks. Savvy Teats. Now smoke a J so we know you're in the Pacific Northwest.
Sing the song.
We're not.
I'm doing the boot.
Go ahead. I got you.
You got the timer?
Yeah.
All right.
No, let's not. I don't want you to spill. Just take your time.
All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Chomping, Carol's chomping. Geno passes, no one stopping. DK, touchdowns all day. He rules. There we go.
Oh, and keep it clean.
Thank you, Kim. Got your question in using hashtag Seahawks.
There we go.
We're going to start the mailbag here in a second.
Mailbag time.
Mark, we appreciate everything you do for us in the channel.
Thank you, Mark.
You're a real MVP.
Thank you, Mark.
And
Thank you, 12s.
We really do appreciate it.
All right. Let's get after it. Segment number 2 is mailbag time. Use hashtag Seahawks or a super chat to get on Said Mailbag. Jeremy, we ready to go?
I'm ready. You ready?
All right, let's get after it. Time for another award-winning Mailbag here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. You may be wondering, how do I get involved in said mailbags? Well, we do these on our live shows. We go live each and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And whenever we have some big breaking news of some sorts, we also go live as well. And so you need to make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can take part in the mailbags and also have your notifications turned on so you know exactly when we go live on the channel. We got you covered. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Our first question comes from the legend himself, Mark Sanchez. Sanchez wants to know, #Seahawks, if the Seahawks draft was tomorrow, who do you guys think we would draft at the 5th spot, or do we trade back? I think it all depends on the offer as far as trade back goes, and that's all situational, right? We don't know what teams are going to offer as far as trading back goes. But here's the thing. I think this Seahawks team, the way that they're set up right now, and when the future is in mind when it comes to Seattle, that you can take a step forward and you can win more games than you did this past season, but the real prize is building sustainability, to being a contending team for the long haul, for a long time. So if you're the Seahawks, I think ideally you would like a situation where maybe you could trade back from 5, stay in the top 10, and then pick up a first-round pick for next year as well. If you can find that opportunity, and let's say get a guy like Tyree Wilson, I think you're feeling great. You're cooking with bacon grease. But if you're at 5 and Jalen Carter is still around or Will Anderson is still around, then I think you're saying to yourself, okay, I got to have one of those guys. So it's all situational as far as that goes. But those are my 2 perfect scenarios if I'm Seattle. Georgie wants to know, should the Seahawks pick up Josh Gordon? Josh Gordon, to his credit, played some really good football with the Seattle Sea Dragons in the XFL. By the way, I like the XFL. The product that The Rock is putting out there, not bad. Pretty entertaining. Although I'm not happy with the $40 bet I lost in Vegas on the XFL over the weekend. That's a whole other story. But nonetheless, Josh Gordon, I'm happy for him. I'm glad things are going well there with the Sea Dragons. And I hope he continues to play well and stays on the right path there in the XFL. But I'll be honest, I'm a little skeptical about his future of going back to the NFL. He's had so many chances time and time again. I would say no for now, but let's see. Seattle Dan writes, hi, Dan. #Seahawks, I know we already have a really good running back in K9, but if Bijan is available at 20, we can't pass on him, right? Bijan Robinson's a stud. He is the best running back to come out in the NFL draft since probably Saquon Barkley, okay? He is legit. And with Kenneth Walker there, okay, you already have a top 10 running back for the next few years leading your way, okay? And then you might even still bring back Rashad Penny potentially to be your backup if he's willing to take a small price tag of some sorts, okay? And then you look at the draft, and there's some other younger running back options. Potentially, you could find one of those later rounds. I know it would be very tempting to take Bijan if he's there at 20, but I don't see it happening. And don't get me wrong, I like Bijan Robinson as a Big 12 football fan. I am glad that Bijan is headed to the NFL and he's out of my conference now. Don't have to deal with him anymore. But I don't know. I don't know about that idea of him going to the Seahawks at 20 just because you already took care of that need with Kenneth Walker. Should the Seahawks draft Bijan Robinson? If he's around at 20, should the Seahawks take him? Let me know in the comment section. This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Use the Y for yes or the N for no to get your votes in, and let me know if the Seahawks should draft Bijan Robinson or not. Beard King writes, how likely is it we would be able to get Chark as the Hawks wide receiver 3? Okay, think about this. So you got your wide receiver 1 and 2 with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. And it really depends on the day who is the top wide receiver and who is the number 2 wide receiver. But they're both very good, right? But you need that number 3. Marquise Goodwin showed some signs at times last year, but he also had some injury issues and some consistency things there. DJ Chark, he's had some injury issues over the years. He's a very talented player. But if I were to guess, there's enough teams that need wide receivers to be their number 1 or number 2. I don't think DJ Chark is coming to Seattle with, remember, the limits that they have to pay to be the number 3 guy. I look at a team like Baltimore, for example, that needs all the wide receiver help they can get. Or Green Bay, okay, where he can be a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2. I don't see him going to Seattle being the 3rd option. He's a good football player, no question about it, but I don't see Seattle. I'd be shocked if they were able to get him to be your 3rd wide receiver as far as I'm concerned. Seahawks Today is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 every morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. I came into this year wanting to get healthier, and starting my year on AG1 has helped me do just that. I take it every morning, and I feel the best I have ever felt. Covering my nutritional bases for the day, literally, couldn't be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix 1 scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Done. I also like that it costs less than $3 a day. Pretty good if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality source ingredients win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need for your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Kim wants to know, what do you think of the idea to draft and use Anthony Richardson in a Taysom Hill type role? Kim, let me put it to you this way, okay? Anthony Richardson is a hell of an athlete. He probably caught the most attention of any quarterback in the combine with the straight athleticism that he showed. The speed, the jumping ability, all of that. I mean, it was just incredible what we saw from Anthony Richardson over the weekend at the combine. With that said, Anthony Richardson, and I don't blame him, to be honest, why on earth, if you're Anthony Richardson, would you be trying to switch positions right now? If all these teams are considering you to be a top 20 pick as a quarterback, you're not going in with the mindset of, well, this team drafted me, I got to play tight end now or receiver or whatever it may be. No, that's not happening. No. Anthony Richardson, although I think he's not a great quarterback in my humble opinion, he's not that good of a passer. Anthony Richardson, wherever he goes, at least for now anyway, is to be a quarterback. And quite frankly, he's earned the right to at least see if he's a quarterback at this level before he should figure out if he should change positions or not. We'll see. But right now, no, he's a quarterback, and I don't think the Seahawks should draft him as a quarterback. Seahawks for Life wants to know, did we overpay for Geno Smith? Let's look at the quarterbacks that have gotten paid recently, right? Okay? So you have Daniel Jones in New York, got $40 million. You got Derek Carr in New Orleans, who got $37.5 million. Lamar Jackson got $32 million on the non-exclusive tag. And then there's Geno Smith, who got $35 million. Okay? Now think about this. Of those 4 quarterbacks we just mentioned, who was the best quarterback last year of those 4? Geno Smith. Okay? Now, Lamar's situation is a whole outlier because it's a tag and all that. But you got Geno Smith cheaper than you did Derek Carr, and then you did Daniel Jones. And every time Derek Carr cashes a paycheck, he's stealing money. Okay? And so then Daniel Jones, you factor that in, $40 million for a guy that I thought Geno outplayed him by a mile. I understand $35 million is a lot, especially considering, okay, that mid-season, the talk was the $25 to $30 million range. So that's a significant pay bump from what he would have gotten mid-season. Even with that said, no. I don't think the Seahawks overpaid. I think they're fine at 35 for 3 years and the way they did it there. Grade the extension for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I am on record. I will reiterate, I believe that the Seahawks deserve an A for that extension, for what they were able to put together for Geno Smith. What say you? Let me know in the comment section. How would you grade the extension for Geno Smith? Take into account some of these other quarterbacks, what they got paid to. I think that's a very important part of this. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know how you would grade the Geno Smith extension. Gerard wants to know, Seahawks take a QB with the 5th pick. Probably not. You've bought yourself time with Geno Smith, where you don't have to, okay? And I like Bryce Young. I like C.J. Stroud. I like them both a lot better than I do Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. But there's a couple guys next year that I like more than I do Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, and that is Caleb Williams and Drake May, okay? And so if I'm the Seahawks, I'm looking at it this way. Roll with what you got, okay, of Geno Smith, the money you're paying him. Use those picks elsewhere. Maybe you trade down, salvage a pick, use it in next year's draft, and then you could potentially get one of those 2 quarterbacks there. But right now, I'm not looking at a quarterback for that number 5 pick, quite frankly. Seahawks UK. I heard it's snowing right now, where Seahawks UK is at. Is Haener any good? Who are you referring to there? Jake Haener? Okay, there we go. Jake Haener, the Fresno State quarterback. Jake Haener, the numbers were solid on Jake Haener. 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 72% completion percentage, a little less than 3,000 passing yards. But you think about it, he played at Fresno State in the Mountain West Conference. And look at the competition that he was facing at Fresno State. Boise State, San Diego State, you know, those type of teams. So with that said, you have a very accurate quarterback, but the competition was not so great for Jacob Haener as far as that goes. I'll say this. I'm on a record. I said this earlier in the week. I'll say it again. I think the Seahawks, when it comes to finding a backup, if Drew Lock were to leave, I'd rather draft a quarterback than I would sign a veteran. A guy like Jake Haener, if he's around day 3 or something like that, that could be the sneaky find potentially. Somebody off the wall that's a late round pick maybe to be that backup. We'll see. But thanks for letting us know on that question. Swedish Fish 33. I like Swedish Fish. Not bad candy. What do you think of the idea of drafting Jalen Smith at 5 and Nolan Smith at 20 if they are available? Jalen Smith at 5, probably no. Nolan Smith at 20. It's interesting. He had a hell of a combine. People were talking about him of what he was able to do in his vertical jump and the 40 time he put together. He's certainly going to skyrocket boards. I don't see the Seahawks taking Jalen Smith at 5. Nolan Smith might be a possibility at 20, although that could still be a reach of some sorts, but I'll be intrigued to see where he goes. But the Smiths, can you have too many Smiths? I don't know, but we'll see. 5, my mind is still set on hopefully Will Anderson or Jalen Carter is still there. Hi, Kenneth Walker. Thanks for being here with us, K9. It's been a minute. Hashtag Seahawks. AR-15, Anthony Richardson, is the next Cam Newton. And if it goes to the Seahawks, he'll have weapons, unlike Cam, and he can sit and learn behind Geno. Also, Pete knows for developing QBs. All right, so apparently we get breaking news here in Seahawks Today. Kenneth Walker wants to bring in Anthony Richardson. Well, Kenneth Walker, I'm glad you're watching. First off, thanks for being here. But secondly, as far as him being the next Cam Newton goes, Cam Newton showed a lot more ability when he was at Auburn, won a national championship with the Auburn Tigers, than what Anthony Richardson showed at Florida when he just wasn't very accurate. I know Anthony Richardson models his game after Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson. We know he's athletic as can be. There was a very good meeting, it seemed, at the Combine between Pete Carroll and Anthony Richardson. I get all of that. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, come on now. Really? Are we doing this? Are we trying to say, oh, use a pick on drafting a quarterback and sit behind Geno when you just paid Geno $35 million a year? K9, glad you're here, man. Thanks for joining us. But Anthony Richardson, no. Tyler from the 12. What about bringing in Bud Dupree? Well, Bud Dupree, he started with the Steelers, went to the Titans, and he's been in the league, what now, a while? Jeremy Chuggs managed their Steelers channel for a bit. It was a long time, wasn't it, Chuggsy, that he was in Pittsburgh? I mean, he's been in the league a minute. I don't know the exact number, but it's been a while.
He's been with the Titans the past 2 years, had a lot of injury issues, was really good his last year in Pittsburgh 2 years ago. The past 2 years.
He's not a spring chicken.
No, he's a rotational pass rusher.
Right.
He's a solid third or fourth pass rusher.
Right. And so my point being, he's not a young guy at this point in time. Okay. Bud Dupree's had a pretty solid career. Nobody's denying that. I think that, you go back, what was it, about 3 or 4 years ago in Pittsburgh, and he looked really, really good. He had some good moments with the steel curtain and being a part of that Steeler defense there. But, I think that Bud Dupree, he has played just good enough that price tag of what he's worth is probably too much for what Seattle can pay. I'm not interested in an older pass rusher like Bud Dupree. Nothing against him, but I don't think it works for Seattle. Name a player the Seahawks should sign. Tell me in the comments section who comes to mind. Whether it's a Bud Dupree or another guy out there, let us know in the comments section who the Seahawks should sign in free agency. You can also follow me on social media as well. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live, and we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. All right. We are 2 segments down. We have another segment to go. And nice mailbag there. Glad that everybody chimed in. Today is Retro Video Game Day, or as Hank Hill would say, them video games. What is the best video game of all time? Jeremy, my answer, I go back to when I was a kid in the 3rd grade. My parents, for Christmas, got me an Xbox, the original, not the 360, the original Xbox. And my grandparents got me NFL 2K5 with T.O. on the cover. That game was incredible. And you got to be building your crib and do all that. The gameplay was fantastic. I was talking to our guy Jack Sperry, our Steeler host, earlier today. He says he still plays that game to this day. I really wish that game would have never gone away and we got stuck with Madden. Madden's been crap for a number of years. To me, that's the greatest video game of all time.
GoldenEye 007 on the N64.
Okay.
It's a good one.
That is a good one. What's your answer, Jeremy?
This might not be that retro, but NCAA was my favorite. I loved playing NCAA.
I still play NCAA 14 at home.
I remember the most hours I've ever spent on a game was the NCAA, and I remember, I'm almost positive I had it for GameCube. It was the one with the Pitt wide receiver on the cover.
Okay.
That game was so good. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I love that game.
The NCAA game with Pitt on the cover was Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, that was Larry Fitz.
Yeah.
That was an awesome game. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, loved that on like the PlayStation 2.
NFL Street was bad.
NFL Street was awesome.
Did you ever play Tecmo Bowl?
Never played Tecmo Bowl, but another slept-on game, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart and the original Super Smash Brothers.
That's a good one too.
I love some Super Smash. Bonk.
Let's see. Dirty D, best game of all time, Street Fighter Third Strike.
Ooh.
David says Skyrim. I remember Skyrim. Let's see. Linebacker says Homeworld 1999. David, Madden bought them out, so we are stuck with their BS.
JRG Blitz. I remember every time I went to, there was
the arcade game,
Yes.
NFL Blitz.
There, next to me, there was a pizza place with games and stuff called Mr. Gaddy's.
Okay.
And they had the Blitz game, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Matthew says Madden 20. What about like?
On GameCube, I used to love SSX Tricky.
That's a good one.
Love that game.
NBA Jam was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That was another good one. NBA Showtime was also good too. And then when I think like what about non-sports games?
Non-sports games like shooters. I mean, on PlayStation 3, Call of Duty.
Yes.
Modern Warfare.
That's badass.
Amazing.
We're talking. Jack, come on by.
What's your top 3
Best
video games of all time?
Sports as one category, non-sports as another.
So I got to pick 6.
Yeah. Go.
Just do your top 3.
But separate the two into two different categories.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Slide over to the left so you're on screen.
Oh, sorry.
This is Jack Lauderay, folks.
Hey, guys. What's up? Red Dead Redemption 2 is incredible. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The original Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 now is kind of trash. I don't play a lot of games. MLB The Show, that's a sports game.
That's a good choice.
I like MLB The Show. NBA 2K. I see SSX Tricky in there.
I used to.
I'm gonna put that one as my third for sports.
Over Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, that's a good one too. I'm gonna take 2K out and put Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and then I'll do GTA 5 for the other.
Okay.
The other one.
GTA.
I like the big open world ones, and then I like first person shooters.
You know, I know MLB The Show gets a lot of love.
I love MLB The Show.
It's a great game. I loved when EA Sports had MVP baseball and you could charge the mound.
Oh yeah.
That was incredible. The college baseball game they did, and one of our bosses, Brett Scott, is actually on that video game.
Really?
He played baseball at Kansas State, so you could play.
What year was it?
College baseball. I think it was like 2005 or 6, something like that. You can find Brett Scott playing for Kansas State on that video game.
Oh, it says 06.
Yeah. Let's see. Swedish Fish says Ken Griffey baseball. I see Skate 3, Team Fortress 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 says Steve
Wanted
Bailey.
to see his overall.
Yeah, find the infielder, I believe, from Manhattan, Kansas, and that should be him.
Oh, were they not doing the names?
No, but you can figure out who's who.
They didn't have name, image, and likeness back then.
Let's see.
Metal Gear Solid, Zelda, all good
Dirty D
games.
says RBI baseball. Okay, very good choices. Let's show that in a Super Chat menu before our final segment. So we're already down one boot, and I got to tell you, people like the $7 shots for Geno today. That's been very popular. We can drink more shots for Geno. I'd be glad to. $5 will sing the DK song. $10 little beer cheers. $25 beer chug. $150 will do the boot. We put Mark Sanchez on the Boot Hall of Fame today. You could also join the Boot Hall of Fame today if you send in a $100 super chat. And we are now $41 away from another boot on the show. So with that, let's go ahead and get to segment number 3, as we're talking about the Seahawks' perfect free agency plan.
Perfect.
We'll get to that next here on Seahawks Today. Welcome in, Seahawks Today. It is powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we are going to lay out the Seahawks' perfect free agency plan. Now that Geno Smith has already been paid and been covered, what else do the Seahawks need to do in free agency? We will dissect all of that coming up in just a few moments from right now. Before we do, if you're excited that Seattle signed Geno Smith, that they got the deal done, they got their quarterback locked up for the next 3 years, and you should be. They're paying him just $35 million, which is a pretty good deal compared to the rest of the quarterback market right now. If you like that he's back and they got that deal done, hit that like button. Show some love for Geno. We'll get started with today's show. First and foremost, the plan needs to be for the Seahawks, as far as I'm concerned, keeping the main core together. I think you have a good foundation here in Seattle with some pieces that are very solid that need to stick around for a bit anyway. Some of the top Seahawks free agents that are about to be out there that I would consider re-signing: Puna Ford, Tanner Muse, Ryan Neal, Mike Jackson, especially Ryan Neal, who was rated as the highest graded safety by Pro Football Focus in the entire National Football League. I know Jamal Adams is supposed to be healthy. Maybe you move him to linebacker, whatever it may be, but Ryan Neal needs to be back in a significant role next year. Other names to look at, our boy Godwin was terrific in the kick return coverage. I think his ceiling has really just kind of started to see what he could potentially do. Marquise Goodwin might be your best option at that number 3 receiver position. When he was healthy, he looked pretty solid out there, although he was inconsistent. Travis Homer is a good third down back, but he had some injury issues. I don't think he would cost you too much. And then there's Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny, I know that he missed most of the season after, week 6 or 7. But Rashad Penny, we know, is a good football player. And he and Kenneth Walker is a good 1-2 punch. That's appealing. And we've heard some conversations that we could see Rashad Penny in a situation where he only gets $1 or $2 million from wherever he goes. At that point, why not be Seattle? If that's the price, sure, I'm open to that conversation. So with that, name a player the Seahawks should re-sign. Who is somebody that they should keep, that they should bring back to this roster in 2023? Let me know in the comment section. Name a player the Seahawks should sign in the re-sign in the comment section below. Folks, here at Chat Sports, we have a brand new NFL draft channel that you need to subscribe to, youtube.com/chatnfl. And what we want to do is we want to see how many Seahawk fans are going to subscribe to our NFL draft channel. Look, here's the deal. The NFL draft for the Seahawks, this is one of the most important drafts the Seahawks have ever had, with 2 first-round picks and 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. And so if you want in-depth analysis, you want to see some interviews, some scouting reports on some of these top players, you need to head over to our draft channel. And go ahead, hit that subscribe button on our draft channel, and just comment Seahawks. Represent the 12s, so among the rest of the NFL, we can see our fan base be loud and be proud representing your favorite team. Go ahead over there now and subscribe if you're looking for more NFL draft coverage. The best draft coverage on YouTube, it's over there. youtube.com/chatnfl. Next up for the Seahawks is finding help on the defensive line. Let's not beat the bush. The Seahawks had one of the worst, if not the worst, run defenses in the entire NFL last year. And so with that being said, you're trying to find any help you can when it comes to stopping the run, but also some pass rushers as well. And there's some pretty dang good ones available on the market. Most notably is probably Javon Hargrave of the Philadelphia Eagles, Pro Bowler back in 2021, 3rd-round pick by the Steelers. And this was a breakout season for Javon Hargrave. I know that the Eagles didn't win the Super Bowl, but they had a historically good pass rush this year in Philadelphia with Javon Hargrave and Hassan Reddick and some of these other guys here. Hargrave, I thought he got robbed at the Pro Bowl, to be honest. 11 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries. He was awesome. You'd love to have him in Seattle, but his price tag might be too high. Another guy that I think is more affordable for Seattle is Dre'Mont Jones from the Denver Broncos. Sounds like his range is going to be around $12 million. Denver, with all that money that they're paying Russell Wilson, doesn't really have the means to pay Dre'Mont Jones, which is why they ultimately decided not to tag him. And the best thing you can say about Dre'Mont Jones is the consistency. Okay? He's had 3 straight seasons with at least 5.5 sacks. He's been really good. He's been dependable. He's been reliable. And he's been healthy. I like Dre'Mont Jones, and he should be considerably cheaper than Javon Hargrave is. So with that said, if you had to pick one to sign, and I'm not going to do the whole if all things are equal thing, because they're not equal here. Would you pay the extra money for Javon Hargrave, or would you pay the money as it stands for Dre'Mont Jones? Let me know in the comments section. Type JH for Javon Hargrave. Type DJ for Dre'Mont Jones. Let me know in the comments section below. JH for Javon Hargrave. DJ for Dre'Mont Jones. Folks, this is the channel for you if you love your Seattle Seahawks. We just reached a grand total of 35,000 subscribers on the channel this week. A terrific milestone we're certainly proud of, and we want to keep growing this channel. We want to keep bringing you the best Seattle Seahawks content on YouTube, okay? But let's keep on growing. Let's keep on doing this thing. Look, the next few weeks, we're in for a treat when it comes to free agency, trades, draft, all the news and rumors. You know we got it covered. Daily Seattle Seahawks videos, and it's free. Why would you not subscribe? Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV to subscribe today for free. Next up is finding depth at the linebacker position. And I was talking to Jeremy Chuggs about this on our Seahawks Today live show earlier. And Chuggsy brought up a good point that when you look at free agency, that there is a lot of depth potential at the linebacker position compared to some of these other positions in free agency. A couple notable names. Tremon Edmonds, the middle linebacker from the Buffalo Bills. You think about the Seahawks, Jordan Brooks is very good, and I'm a Jordan Brooks fan, but we don't know where his ACL injury is at. It might be a while before he could potentially return, if he returns at all next season. So if you could get Edmonds to pair up with Jordan Brooks, that could be a very good 1-2 punch, potentially speaking. Adam Schefter reports that the Bills are not expected to re-sign Edmonds, where things stand right now for the two-time Pro Bowler as far as it goes. And then, of course, the obvious name that I think we've talked about a lot here the last couple of weeks is Bobby Wagner, right? Bobby Wagner, 6-time Pro Bowler, 8-time or 6-time first-team All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion with Seattle. And we can all humbly say it was a mistake by the Seahawks to cut Bobby Wagner last offseason. And he did not lose a step. He did not miss a beat on that Rams team last year, despite the Rams taking a significant step back, having the worst Super Bowl hangover ever. It wasn't because of Bobby Wags, okay? Bobby did his part, and it became such a point of frustration that he wanted out because he wanted to be a part of a contending team. Look, I'll be honest, I don't know if the Seahawks are a Super Bowl threat per se, but we already know they were a playoff team last year, and they're a hell of a lot better than the Rams. And the Seahawks have a need the linebacker spot. I would love to see Bobby Wagner back in Seattle.
Bobby, come back.
What say you?
You
Bobby
can blame
came
it
back
all on me.
Can you blame it all on Pete? Is that how that goes, Jeremy? Or blame it all on John? Should the Seahawks bring back Bobby Wagner? Y for yes, N for no. What do you think? Would you like to see Bobby Wagner back in Seattle? Probably wouldn't be cheap. And there would probably have to be a few apologies. Baby, I'm sorry. You know, something like that. Whatever it may be. Let us know in the comment section. Y for yes, N for no if the Seahawks should bring back Bobby Wagner. Next up, finding help on the interior of the offensive line. We already know that the Seahawks are shorthanded at the center position with Austin Blythe retiring. Although, I'll be honest, I would have looked for better options than Austin Blythe anyway if he was coming back. And then the guard positions need a lot of help. You got your book in tackles, but you need help in the interior. Well, while the draft is an option when it comes to those guys, there's some pretty decent free agent players in the interior of the offensive line. And in particular, a guy that we talked about here on the channel this week is former Seahawk Ethan Pocic, potentially coming back after a career year with the Cleveland Browns. Ben Powers had a breakout year with the Baltimore Ravens. He's probably not back there with the Ravens this year. Dalton Reisner had a really good run the last few years with the Denver Broncos. He's been a very good leader. Connor McGovern Not the Cowboys' Connor McGovern, the Jets' Connor McGovern. He's a name potentially. There are guys that the Seahawks should consider when it comes to the interior of the offensive line that are all worthy of at least that possibility. What's the biggest position of need? We've talked about a few of them today. Linebacker, interior offensive line, D-line, whatever it may be. What comes to mind? What's the biggest position of need? Tell it for me in the comment section. What the biggest issue the Seahawks need to address this offseason is. And finally, number 5 on our list for the Seahawks free agency plan is finding a bargain playmaker, okay? Now, let me put it this way. I'm sure a lot of you have been bargain shopping of some sorts, right? You know, going to like the grocery outlet or the Dollar Tree or something like that, where you're trying to find something that's good, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on it. Manager special or something of that sorts, right? Well, I look at these guys. This is what I call the sneaky good skill position free agents, okay? And with these 5 players that I have listed, the Seahawks, wide receiver and running back, neither one are even close to their top need. But they do need maybe a third wide receiver or a second running back, somebody that can make an impact, but you're not breaking the bank for. Darius Slayton, Robert Woods, McCole Hartman, Damian Harris, AM. I mean, these guys here, to me, all of them would make a difference. And you might not have to break the bank for them. I mean, Damian Harris, think about this with Damian Harris, the New England Patriots running back. Go back to not this past season, but the year previous. He had 15 touchdowns. 15, okay? He can still play ball. He knows ball. McCole Hardman, I know there was some communications issues with Patrick Mahomes over the last few years, but he's got the raw speed. So if you can just potentially save some money and find those sneaky good skill position players, that can go a long way of building a championship caliber roster like what John Schneider wants to do. Name a player the Seahawks should sign in free agency. We've talked about a few names today. Who comes to mind? Who's the player that you're looking at and you'd like to see the Seahawks sign? Let us know in the comments section below who that player is. Also, check out our draft channel. Subscribe there as well. YouTube.com/chatNFL for the latest happenings getting closer to the NFL draft. Very important draft for the Seahawks. Free agency, it's somewhat important, but the draft is where the Seahawks are building their future. You can interact with me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. Thanks for joining us. All right. There we go, everybody.
So, into the show. Pretty good show. Thank you for the 90 people who have watched from beginning to end or somewhere in between. We appreciate all of you for sticking with us. Tyler, the question everybody in the chat wants to know. Are you going to see Carrie tonight?
It's a good question. What do we need to get in Super Chats for me to go see Carrie tonight?
We're at 159, so I'm guessing 200 is going to be the number.
We need to get to 200 in Super Chats, and then I'm going to Carrie Underwood tonight. All right, guys. What do we think?
3 minutes on the clock.
Let's put 3 minutes on the clock. If we get to 200 in Super Chats, then I'll go see Carrie Underwood tonight, and I'll go profess my love to Carrie. We'll have a good time. 3 minutes on the clock. Let's see if we can make it happen. We could be waiting all day for Wednesday night, I guess. You like what I did there?
You don't have a sign, though.
Should I? Another 50 and I'll bring a sign.
Carrie, leave your husband.
What do you guys think? Carrie Underwood is in Dallas tonight. And
Tyler's dream crush, Carrie Underwood, is in town
as a
tonight.
kid from Oklahoma. Growing up, Carrie, of course, from Oklahoma. You know,
Did you vote
she was
for
one
her?
of us. Oh, yeah, of course. Hello, Sam Brown.
She's here in Dallas.
So Will said that.
Like right now?
Yeah, she's performing tonight, I guess.
Tonight.
Oh, like
So apparently, if we get to.
Will
if we
said
get
he's
to
down to
200 in Super Chats, we're $41 away.
200 and Tyler has to go.
Then I got to go see Carrie Underwood tonight.
Is Will still here? Did he bail? Oh, wow. I guess Will's not going.
Okay. We'll see.
Fake friends.
We got to get a Super Chat to keep the show going with 3 minutes on the clock. And we got to get to 41 for me to go see Carrie Underwood tonight.
Carrie. Scary Terry. Carrie.
We'll see. We'll see what the chat does.
About a minute and a half left, halfway through.
Let's show them the Super Chat menu, shall we? Christopher Bryson wants Frank Clark. Frank Clark got released by the Chiefs this week.
Yeah?
Frank Clark, I talked about this a couple days ago with Frank Clark. There's two things that come to mind on Frank Clark, Jeremy.
Uzis.
One being terrific football player. The Chiefs would not have won their first Super Bowl, probably not their second without him. But then two.
Oh!
All right, Cappy. Cappy with a $10 Super Chat. A little beer cheers.
31 away.
Cappy wants me to go see Carrie Underwood tonight.
I'm going to restart the clock.
Cheers to you, Cappy. Thank you for contributing to the Carrie Underwood Fund. That means we're $31 away from seeing Carrie tonight.
Can we do it?
Can we do it? Can we go see Carrie tonight? 31 away from seeing Carrie Underwood tonight. So as far as Frank Clark goes, the other thing is that he's been very inconsistent, right? I mean, it's been up and down for Frank Clark throughout his career. He's dealt with some injuries,
some off-the-field
things,
issues,
and the off-the-field stuff. For me, kind of like
2 Uzis in the back of his car.
Right.
That's why we call him Uzi Clark.
For me, with Frank, it's got to be one of those deals where I'm not spending a whole lot because history tells me you can easily get burned.
Yeah.
So I like Frank Clark, but it can't be too much money for
31 away from Tyler seeing his childhood crush. Tyler, how much for you to try to rush the stage?
Another 100.
You'll try to rush the stage.
Rush the stage.
Oh my
$31.
God.
How much time's on the clock?
Now we're about a minute 45.
Okay, a minute 45 on the clock. If we get $31 in Super Chats, then I get to go see the love of my life, Carrie Underwood tonight.
I've been waiting all day for Wednesday night.
Tough and rough in a primetime fight. Oh! Carrie! 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 Carrie!
Carrie! He's going to see
I'm
Carrie
going!
Underwood!
We're going to see Carrie tonight.
Cappy McCappy!
Cappy McCappy! Cappy McCappy! Thank you, Cappy.
He's been waiting all day for Wednesday night.
Oh,
Tyler's going out and he's gonna get right.
Thank you, Cappy.
Carrie Underwood, you better get ready, cause Tyler's gonna see you every day, don't we?
Thank you, Cappy. So we gotta do some shots then. I think we gotta do some Geno shots.
Let's go.
Let's do 4 Geno shots.
2 and 2, let's do it.
Matthew says Jones better post on Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Follow him right now.
I'm going to call Will Scott right now. I'll do it on air, and I'm going to tell him to get the tickets. Because Will said he'd go with me.
Cappy McCappy, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
All right. Cheers.
We're going.
We're going. Get the tickets.
What do you mean we're going?
We're going to Carrie Underwood. We reached our milestone on Super Chats to get the tickets.
What?
Yes. We'll figure it out. But we did what we were asked to do, so we get to go. I'm in the middle of the show right now. Get them while we can, so I can distro the show and all that.
Tyler will Venmo you. We're live on air.
We're live on air right now, Will.
Oh!
Another 20 coming in.
David!
Stop! All right, Will. Get the tickets. Figure out who wants to go. Okay.
I'll put it in production. I'll put it in HQ.
Say that we need somebody to get us some Carrie Underwood tickets while I'm on this show. David, don't forget your sign. Let's see. No AFX. We are not doing the hot chip. Absolutely. Damn, no. We are not doing the hot chip. Okay. Oh. Cheers to you, David. We got to drink more of these. Drinking money, says Cappy. Money, money, money. Money. Cheers. All right. You got to take a drink.
Oh, yep.
Oh. What a day we've had. Let's keep on drinking. David said, don't forget your sign. Oh, I won't forget my sign. Cheers. Oh. Woo!
James said he's going.
James is going?
James is going.
Really? Okay. Oh. David said, don't forget your sign. We're still 30 away from my sign, though. I said it was another 100 we'd bring the sign. So, we'll see. Cappy says got to stock some Fireball. Bring some Fireball in my pocket.
If it's at the AAC, we're actually not far at all.
It is at the AAC.
You just pregame in here and then going?
Maybe. What time's the show start?
Let's see.
I don't really need to see the opening act, though.
Will just looked it up on my computer. 7:30.
7:30. So with the opening act,
We have an hour.
I probably really don't need to be there till 8:30.
Yeah, so you could just pregame here and then leave at like 7:30.
Yeah.
Get an Uber there.
Yeah. I could take the dart. I don't even know who our opening act is. But that's not what we're there to see. We're there to see Carrie.
Carrie.
All right. So we need $30 for you to bring a sign.
We have a minute left on the shot clock.
A minute left on the shot clock for me to bring a sign.
What a turn of events. James is typing. Will he be going to Carrie Underwood with Tyler Jones?
Oh.
Bring your belt buckles, because this is one of those days.
Oh, David said, I said another 15. Okay. I've drank enough, but let's see. I'll drink more. We'll drink more to keep the show going. If we get a super chat, we stay live. We can talk Seahawks, we can talk Carrie, whatever. But I guess we're going to this Carrie Underwood show tonight. Who's going with? Are you going with me, Jeremy?
I have to go home first, but I might be down.
Yeah.
Did Will say he's getting tickets?
I don't know yet.
Dude, you're gonna be in love tonight. All right.
Okay.
That's probably a good thing. We need to figure out on our end the ticket situation, who's all going. But Tyler, one more time, give him a little sub read.
Sub now. We reached 35,000 subscribers on the channel. What a milestone. And if you liked what you saw today, which I don't know how you couldn't, you need to subscribe for more happenings in your favorite team. Here's the sub link. It's going in the chat right now. Sub. We got a crazy couple days ahead with free agency. If the Seahawks make a major move, you know we're going to be on it. We're going to be covering it here on Seahawks Today. Got to go. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned here to the channel.